everybody, welcome back to another Cottage Garden Bella Box video. Today we're going to make two items, one from the regular set of instructions and one from the bonus instructions. We're going to make both the butterfly plant poke and the dragonfly plant poke. Your Bella Box comes with two wooden dowels. I thought we would make one of each today. Both of these projects need the wash away embroidery stabilizer. I will go ahead and link this for you below. You can see that I don't quite have enough of this. I tend to buy things in bulk if I can, and I have some of this HBI wash away. It works very well. I've used it on several projects before, so I'll be using that today. But if you've got your Kimberbell wash away, it's the regular wash away, not the wash away sticky back, not the wash away topping, just wash away. In the instructions, it has us using the apricot organza for both of these. Your thread colors are here: white, coral, and pistachio, white, sun-kissed peach, and tidewater. Let me show you what I'm going to use today. Here's what I have pulled for the butterfly and the dragonfly. The gray foam comes in your Bella Box. Cut this according to the instructions. These come in your Bella Box. These are the little plant pokes. Glide white. For the butterfly, I'm going to use this color thread. For the coral, this is the color number. These are sim threads. It matches this organza really well. And then for the body, I thought I'd have a little fun. I pulled a metallic thread. You can see I haven't even used this yet. Here's the color on that. And as we work through the project, I'll hold these up. For the dragonfly, instead of the organza, I thought I would try some tulle. I bought this for another project, so I have 3 layers of purple tulle. I did buy it on Amazon. It came on this little roll. It's Expo brand matte tulle. I think I bought it for Candy Corn Quilt Shop. For the wings, I have this purple. This is actually a new bro thread. And then for the body, I pulled another metallic thread. We're going to do the butterfly first, and then we'll do the dragonfly. A few other things you're going to need. You'll need your paper tape, a fray preventative product. I'll be using the Dritz fray check today. And I've got my scissors here, double curve applique and snips. I'm not sure what I'm going to need today. Both of these projects can be made in a 5x7 hoop. Rather than combining them and making both of them at once, I am going to make one at a time. We'll start with the butterfly plant poke. Go ahead and load your wash away stabilizer into your 5x7 hoop. I'm on a Baby Lock Meridian. My files are on my Bella Box USB. I think this came in the Feeling Festive Bella Box. I have my instructions here on a folding metal book stand. I'll put information on the book stand below. My home sewn needle binder on my instructions. It's great to have one of these because you can kind of move it as you go. It keeps your place really well. Let's go ahead and bring up the file. We want this file right here. This is the plant poke butterfly. The fluttering butterflies down here is for the pillow. So bring up the 5x7 butterfly plant poke file. Just one file for all the pieces. We're ready to go. Make sure you've got wash away stabilizer here. I'm going to put the color coral on my machine. The instructions do tell us to match our bobbin thread to our top thread. I'm not going to do that. My machine can only use a 90 weight bobbin thread in the bobbin case that I have. I'll be working with white bobbin thread throughout. I will make sure to call out when you need to change your bobbin thread. That way if you're matching your bobbin thread, you can do that. One thing about me using the white is you'll see what the project looks like with the white, and you can make a decision if you want to wind the extra bobbin. I'm going to load this on my machine, and the first thing we're going to stitch out is the wings placement line, and that's going to go right onto our wash away stabilizer. What we want to do now is take our organza, and we have 3 layers. We're going to put all 3 layers across what just stitched out, and then we're going to tape all the way around. So I have 3 layers here. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then I need to cover those completely and tape it all the way around. I'm going to take that over to the table and do that. Here's what that looks like. I had to put a little piece of tape down to hold one of the pieces. As you're layering, they might kind of slide, so take your time with it. I have all 3 pieces and they're taped all the way around. Go ahead and put this back on your machine, and if you're using matching bobbin thread, it's still the matching bobbin thread. The next thing we're going to stitch out is the wings tack down line. Once they're tacked down, you're going to want to take this off the bed of your machine. This is when we're going to use the fray preventative product. It's a liquid glue. I'm not going to do this on the machine, and I'm not going to do it on camera. I'm going to go to the kitchen because it smells. I'm going to go lay it down on a piece of paper towel, and then you're going to put it right along the stitch lines, and it says to let it dry. Normally, I don't use a fray preventative when it says to, but I noticed as this was stitching out, I actually heard the needle catch, and then I saw the organza run like pantyhose. So I'm thinking the fray preventative is probably going to be necessary. I think my fray check is dry. What I did was I kind of held my hoop and I just did this. I waved it back and forth to make it dry faster. It does feel dry. Just be careful, make sure your hoop is tightened down if you're doing that. You don't want the inside to go flying out and then having to start over. We need to trim all 3 layers of the organza outside of the stitch line. So we'll take off the tape, and then I think I'm going to start with the snips. We'll figure out which pair of scissors is easiest to use. This is pretty delicate. I think I'm going to start with the snips, and I'm just going to try it on a corner. Very easy to cut through 1 layer. Let's try 3 layers. You can easily cut through 3 layers all at once. These are easier for me to control when I get into these kind of tight spaces versus using the double curve applique. These are going to be a little bit heavier. I think I would go with the snips for this if you have both of these pairs of scissors. All trimmed, we're going to put this back on our machine. If you're matching your bobbin thread to your top thread, you still have the coral on the bobbin and the coral on top. We're going to stitch the wings mesh and the satin outlines. I just started stitching that and I have a thread break. I'm going to show you how to back up your machine in case that's never happened to you. If you have a baby lock or a brother, your screen is going to look extremely similar to mine. Most machines, no matter what brand, you're going to have some kind of button like this, needle minus plus. I'm going to back it up 5 spaces. You just hit the -1 5 times, hit OK, and we're ready to go back to stitching. I had a few thread breaks on the larger one. I think there's something about this tight swirl. It kind of goes in and then it stops and then it spins back out. No problems with the smaller one. We're going to change to the white thread, and you need to change your bobbin thread. It says match your bobbin thread to your top thread. We're going to stitch out the wings veins detail and then the wings dot details. There are 2 steps on the embroidery machine. They're both done in white. I'll go ahead and run them together. We're all done with the butterfly wings. What was really great about that dot stitch out, it went back and forth instead of going from here to here to here to here and having jump threads. So there's no jump threads to cut. A big high five to Kimberbell for designing it that way. We're going to change colors on our machine to pistachio. I'm going to be using this metallic thread, and it does tell us to match our bobbin thread. If you're stitching it out per the instructions, you want pistachio thread up top, pistachio thread in your bobbin. We're going to stitch out the body placement line. Once that's stitched out, we need to grab the puffy foam and tape it in place. It fits right inside that box that just stitched out, and we're going to want to tape it on all sides. I'm going to take this off my machine, put it on a flat surface, and get it taped. I've got that taped on all 4 sides. It's a little bit awkward to tape. It is very puffy. It does stand up. It has a lot of dimension to it. Get it back on the machine, and then we're going to stitch out the body tack down line. And I can see right there I'm going to catch my tape. So the first thing I'm going to do before I stitch is take this off and pull back a little bit of this tape because I don't want to have to pick out tape for my stitching. I trimmed away a little tape, and I also adjusted the top because the top was really crooked. Let's try this again. Body tack down line. Just another reminder before we stitch out the body fill and antenna detail, if you're stitching per the instructions, you've got the color pistachio and you have matching bobbin thread. I'm stitching with my regular 90 weight white bobbin thread. We're going to stitch out the body fill and antenna details. We're all done at the machine. The first thing we can do is change our bobbin thread back to your neutral bobbin if you haven't done that. We're going to peel away the puffy foam. We'll go ahead and remove the tape first. This looks like it's going to pull right off. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it does. You can kind of press down with your fingernail to help keep it in place. Now I can see some of the white stitching from my bobbin thread. Right along the edges That may also be the stabilizer, which we're going to wash away. Look at that. We've got all our pieces. What I'm going to do is get this out of the hoop, set it aside. We're going to stitch out the Dragonfly, and then we'll dissolve all the stabilizer for both pieces and put them both together at the same time. Let's bring up the file for the Dragonfly. You'll see my tape here. I reuse the tape. Normally I tape it to the table, but because I'm swinging the table up and down, I can't tape it to the table. We're going to do the Dragonfly plant poke. Let's find our Dragonfly right there. If you're making this per the instruction, you're using the same material, the apricot organza. I'm going to try making this with purple tulle. Mine's going to be different colors and different threads. Your colors in the instructions with the apricot organza are white, sun-kissed peach, and tidewater. I'll go ahead and call these colors out, but keep in mind my color is going to be different. Make sure you have wash away stabilizer in your 5x7 hoop. Stitching per the instructions, you're going to start with sun-kissed peach and match your top thread to your bottom thread. I'm using purple and my white bottom thread. The next step is just like the butterfly. You would place your 3 layers of organza. I have 3 layers of tulle. I'm going to place those, cover placement lines, and tape it all the way around. I've got this taped all the way around. We're going to stitch the tack down. If you're stitching with the organza, you're using the color Sun-Kissed Peach, matching your bobbin thread to your top thread. Our next step is just like before. Take it off the machine, then apply your fray preventative, let it dry, take off the tape, and trim around the tack down. I'm going to skip the fray preventative, and we'll see how that turns out. The tool was very easy to trim. I didn't use the fray preventative product. It looks pretty good to me. We're going to put this back on the machine. Again, if you're stitching per the instructions, you have the Sun-Kissed Peach in your top thread and your bobbin thread. We're going to stitch out the wings, mesh, and satin outlines. Once that's stitched out, you want to switch to white thread on top and matching bobbin thread. So white bobbin thread. We're going to stitch out the wings, veins detail. Here's the white. This actually looks really bad on the purple. I didn't really think about that. So what I'm going to do is switch this now to this purple metallic and see how that looks for the wing vein detail. And when I put this together, these are going to go one on top of the other. I'm going to put this white one underneath and then this one on top. I love the way the sparkly thread looks on that. I'm thinking when these are stacked, it's going to look really good because the white will kind of show through underneath and it's going to help highlight the glitter thread. The next thing we're going to do is stitch out the body. If you're following the instructions, you want to use the color Tidewater, change your top thread and your bobbin thread to match, and we're going to stitch out the body placement box. I'm going to leave my purple glitter thread on my machine. Grab your puffy foam. It fits right into that box just like before. Add your tape all the way around. I've got that all taped. I'm looking at the instructions and it says to stitch the body tack down line, remove the tape, and then to stitch the body and antenna fill. I don't think I did that last time. I think I left the tape on until the very end. Do what you want with the tape. I'm going to stitch the tack down, and then unless the tape is in the way, I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to move right into stitching out the body and antenna fill. Again, if you're following the instructions, Tidewater, top thread, bottom thread. We're all done. Let's go ahead and take this over to the table. I'm at the table. Not the best stitch out on that with the glitter thread. Regular thread may have been better. I'm going to go ahead and remove the tape and then peel away the puffy foam. Next I'm going to get this out of the hoop, and then we need to dissolve the stabilizer for both the butterfly and for the dragonfly, and then put together our plant pokes. For both of these, what I need to do is get away most of the stabilizer. I can use my rotary cutter and cut apart the big pieces and then use my scissors to trim away as much more of it as I can, and then I'll actually take this to the kitchen. I use a bowl of water. Put it in the bowl of cool water, let it soak. You can kind of rub it as it dissolves. If it's feeling sticky, there's still stabilizer left, and then you want to lay everything flat to dry. So I'll be back after I've dissolved the stabilizer and everything's dry. I've got everything mostly dry. I would definitely say if you can match your bobbin thread to your top thread, you want to do that for the body portions. I think it'll look fine when it's all put together. Unless you get really close to it, you're not really going to notice it, and it's bug. They're kind of messy anyway, but you can see the back. You can see a lot of the white thread on the back and on the side. So matching the thread for these pieces and not using metallic thread, probably a good idea. The tulle stitched out very clean. The edges are extremely clean. No fray preventative used. You can see there's some little threads I'm going to have to go back and trim for that, but these came out really nice. The butterfly and the organza, I've got lots of fuzzies. Maybe I didn't let my fray check dry enough. If there's another fray preventative product out there, you can certainly try it. You can see I've got lots of fuzzies. These are because we've stitched out the little dots and it cut the threads and went back and forth, so I need to cut all of those threads. And then the little fuzzies from the organza. If they bother you, you can trim. If they don't bother you, you can leave them. I would just be careful. You don't want to cut your satin stitching. I'll probably cut whatever I can get to easily, like these threads, and then the rest of it, I'm going to leave. I'm going to take a little bit, trim any threads, and then we're going to put these on the plant hooks. I've got all my pieces here. We've got our little wooden dowels, and I'm going to be using a Surebonder Cool Shot glue gun. This is a hot glue gun. It just doesn't get super hot. I have a Surebonder high temperature glue gun that gets really, really hot. This glue gun is designed to be used with delicate materials like lace, tulle. It's going to be perfect for this project. I'm going to let this heat up. It's got a little flip out stand. Normally when I work with the glue gun, I wear some silicone fingertip protectors. I actually can't get to them. We're starting to pile things up to move into the new sewing and craft room. They're kind of buried, so let's hope I don't burn my finger. Let's start with our dragonfly. This is going to be the bottom piece. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right there in the middle. And our wings here are the top piece. Press that down. Have a glue string. That's what that looks like. So you end up not really seeing the white. You will see it, you can kind of bend these out when you have them on display, give them a little bit of dimension. So it'll show up from the back. I'm glad I didn't do white on the front though. Let's grab the dragonfly body. You can have your picture handy for reference. It looks like the chubby part of the body kind of goes on the wings. Definitely use regular thread. Don't use metallic thread. It's thinner than regular thread. It caused some gaps where even if I had matched my bobbin and my top thread, you can see that puffy foam sticking out in between. Kind of looks like eyeballs there. We'll just go with it. If you're really unhappy with the way something turns out, you can always restitch it. I just want to finish this today, get the video posted, that way everybody can watch it. And it's also a way for everyone to learn what not to do. It's going to look fine. Glue that down. Awesome. He looks great despite his problems. We have a lot of animals here at our house. Many of them are special needs, so this guy fits right in. Looks good. I'm going to set that there. Let's glue our butterfly together and then we'll put the plant pokes together. Make sure I've got these right side up. For the wings, on both of these, unless you're concerned with how it's going to look from the back, and that's the white thread, you can see the white bobbin thread on that one. You really do see it on this one, on this organza. Honestly, I would just leave your white bobbin thread in. I think it looks fine. I would match it for the body though, if you can. I'm going to glue that right there in the center. So put a little bit of glue. I have seen this Cool Shot glue gun at Hobby Lobby. I did buy mine online, but your craft store may have it. Let that set. That looks good. And then we're going to glue on the body for the butterfly. Just kind of center it. Very fun. You can sort of bend the antenna, and then we need to put them on the plant poke. Let's grab the plant pokes. And I'm thinking I don't want to see the stick at the top like that, so I'm going to glue it right there at the top. This is really a good glue gun for this project. I'm thinking about my high temperature glue gun, which when you use it on wood, it actually makes the wood smoke. So a cool shot glue gun, really nice to have. Let's put that on the back. I'm just gonna hold that for a minute, make sure I get it into place. The tail of the body here is going to go off of the dowel. It's not going to touch. It looks pretty good. And some glue strings. Something else you can do from the back, you can add extra glue just along the sides to hold it into place. I can even go completely over the wood if I want. It doesn't matter, nobody's going to see the back. Going to let that dry. Let's do the dragonfly. You can see it's a completely different look when you use the same color thread for the body and the wings versus a different color. Here it really stands out. Here everything kind of blends in. We actually have a gold dragonfly who comes every year. Just beautiful. He's big and gold and shimmery. Already came this year when it was a little bit cooler out. Love when he stops by. But every year, without fail, that dragonfly comes. Let's glue this one on. Like that. And I am going to add a little bit of extra glue to the back. Now with the dragonfly, you could glue the bottom of the dragonfly to the dowel. I think I'm just going to add the glue where I have it right here. That looks pretty secure to me, but if you want, you could glue this to the plant poke. Otherwise, you know, you can lift it up when you have it on display. I'm going to let these two cool. These are both cooled. We are going to go put these in a plant container. Here's our butterfly. When you get ready to put this on display, if you want, you can curl the wings, sort of separate the wings, make it look like it's flying. You can bend the antenna a little bit, give it a little more dimension. That's what that looks like. What a fun little project. Even though you can see a little bit of the gray puffy foam, this looks fantastic. Let's look at the dragonfly. Can lift these up a little bit. I actually really like how it looks with the white underneath. You don't see it from the front. You can see it underneath like that. But it sort of shows through this top layer and lights up the wings on top. Let's go put these in a planter. We're outside on the covered porch. We had this old watering can sitting on the side yard for a few years, so I finally decided to do something with it. I filled it with rocks to hold it down, and there's floral foam, and then I've got some, you know, UV resistant plastic flowers. They've been in here for a few years. They are starting to fade. The only other planter I have to use is the cactus, and the dirt's really hard and it's filled with rocks. So we're going to use the pretty planter. Just take your plant poke. We'll put it right there in front of the brown post so you can see it. Looks good. Let's get our dragonfly. Just kind of stick it in your planter. They look really cute in this planter. It's a little dark here. It's a little shady. But if you've got a planter in the sun, you can do that. I think both of these would look really great on barrettes and headbands for little girls, or sew them onto a scrunchie. I used to wear scrunchies with butterflies on them. I would have loved that. Here are the plant pokes. Thank you so much for joining me today to make the butterfly and dragonfly plant pokes from the Cottage Garden Bella box. This is the second project we made out of the Bella box. I've already made and posted the video for the layered scene. I'm working through all the projects, both the regular designs and the bonus designs. If there's something in particular you'd like to see up next, please let me know. Drop it in the comments. Be sure to like, that's hitting the thumbs up button, subscribe, and share with all your Kimberbell friends. I'll see you next time for another Bella Box video. Bye everybody!